Hi, I'm Carly Krouse of the Indiana Gazette, and this is another week of our high school football preview show. We're coming to you from Purchase Line High School, where the Red Dragons are getting ready for their game against Northern Cambria on Friday night, which will feature a few interesting matchups in the Heritage Conference. Purchase Line improved to 4-1 with a blowout win over Salzburg last week. The Red Dragons lost to Homer Center in the opener, but have won 4 straight. Purchase Line is known as a running team, and while the Dragons are still getting it done on the ground with Shamar Campbell, Lucas Seister, Melvin Sanchez, and Cullen Goncher, they've also relied this season on their passing game and on their defense. They're second in the area in total defense and will have to stay strong on both sides of the ball this week against a tough Northern Cambria team. The Colts are 3-2 after a 47-20 victory over Blairsville last week. Northern Cambria averages 257.4 rushing yards and is third in the area in total offense behind junior quarterback Mark Marino. The Colts have also been pretty solid on defense, allowing just 107.4 rushing yards per game. However, they have struggled at times in their pass defense and will need to get after the quick Campbell. A big matchup in the game could be the Northern Cambria defensive front against the Red Dragons offensive line. And turnovers could also be a factor as the Red Dragons lead the area with a +7 turnover margin, and the Colts are second at +6. Purchase Line enters the week 4th in District 6 Class 1A rankings, and Northern Cambria is 6th. Homer Center, the number 2 team in the district rankings and the number 5 team in the state in Class 1A, travels to United. The unbeaten Wildcats are tops in the area in rushing with 279.2 yards per game and second in total offense. Senior Mike McCracken has rushed for 500 yards through the first 5 games with an average of 8.3 yards per carry. Homer Center averages 36 points per game, but doesn't want to look past the Lions and into next week's big matchup with Ligonier Valley. United was shut out 65-0 by Ligonier last week, the second straight game that the 2 and 3 Lions were blown out. They've been banged up recently and look to get back into sync, but they're in last in the area in total defense and could have a tough time against the Wildcats. Ligonier Valley is also still undefeated and has yet to face a real challenge this season. The Rams have allowed just 6 points through 5 weeks, a touchdown by Marion Center in the opener against the Ligonier JV defense. The Rams are the 5th-ranked team in the state in Class 2A and are second in the district rankings. They lead the area in total offense, total defense, and scoring defense, averaging 53.8 points per game. The Rams play at West Shamokin this week and take on a Wolves team that has won 2 straight. West Shamokin found its rhythm on offense in those 2 wins, but face a daunting task against the Ligonier defense, giving up just 57 yards per game. In a matchup of 1 and 4 teams, Blairsville travels to Penns Manor. Both teams have had bright spots this season, but haven't been able to get much going. Both would also love to pick up a win this week and move up in the standings. Blairsville receiver Ray Lawson leads the area with 20 receptions, and the Bobcats are third in the area in passing offense. But it hasn't been enough. Noah Sleesman is second in the area with 464 rushing yards, but he's carried the ball 92 times, and the offense hasn't had much success in their running game. Penns Manor looks to get back on track after brutal back-to-back games against Ligonier Valley and Homer Center. The Comets average just 194.2 yards of offense and are also last in the conference in rushing defense. Marion Center will continue its quest for its first win at Salzburg. The Stingers haven't been able to get their offense rolling and have scored just 47 points this season, but they'll try to turn things around against the 1 and 4 Trojans, who got beat up at Purchase Line last week. Salzburg scored its first win of the season 2 weeks ago, but was plagued by turnovers last week. The Trojans have a -13 turnover margin and are last in the area in rushing offense, but they have been able to move the ball behind quarterback Josh Gibbons, who has passed for 821 yards. In the WPIAL, Indiana will look for its first victory this season on homecoming against a winless Ambridge team that averages fewer than 7 points a game. But the Indians could be forced to celebrate without coach John Allen Snyder, who has been suspended indefinitely by the school district for reasons yet to be specified. With an injury-depleted backfield, Indiana will likely turn to recent surprise Ethan Marcosi, a freshman who leads the team with 146 rushing yards, including a career-high 72 on 14 carries last week. Junior quarterback Luke Thomas needs 202 passing yards to break the career program record of 2,912 set by Steve Neal from 1971 to 1973. Apollo Ridge takes on first-place Seton LaSalle in an Allegheny Conference game. The Vikings improved to 4-1 with a come-from-behind win last week over Burrell, despite being without senior quarterback Kyle Fitzroy. The Rebels are the 4th-ranked team in the state in Class 3A.